More than 1200 years ago in a small city called Bokhara, a child was born who would one day protect the words of the Prophet Muhammad for the entire Muslim world. His name was Muhammad ibn Ismail al-Bukhari. No one at that time knew that this quiet boy would grow up to compile the most authentic book after the Quran. No one imagined that his work would guide billions of hearts for centuries to come. But Allah had already written his destiny. He was born in 810 CE. His father was a scholar and a righteous man, known for his honesty and halal earnings. Before his death he left behind very little wealth, but he left something far more valuable: faith, integrity and love for knowledge. Imam Bukhari grew up an orphan. Losing a father at a young age is never easy, but sometimes hardship builds greatness. As a child he even lost his eyesight. His mother cried day and night, praying to Allah for her son. One night she saw Prophet Ibrahim in a dream telling her that Allah had returned her child's sight because of her prayers. When she woke up the boy could see again. It was the first sign that this child was special. From a very young age he showed extraordinary memory. Other children played in the streets, but Bukhari sat with scholars. While boys chased games he chased knowledge. At just 10 years old he started memorizing Hadith. By 11 he was correcting his teachers when they made mistakes in narration. People were shocked. How could a child know more than elders? But his memory was like a lock that never lost its key. By 16 he had memorized thousands of Hadith along with their chains of narrators. Not just the words but every single name in the chain. Who narrated from whom, where they lived, how trustworthy they were. It was as if his mind was a living library. Then began the journey that would change history. Imam Bukhari left his home and traveled across the Muslim world in search of authentic Hadith. Imagine the struggle. No airplanes, no cars, no comfort. Only deserts, long walks, hunger, cold nights and danger. But his passion was stronger than his fear. He traveled to Mecca, Medina, Baghdad, Egypt, Syria, Basra, Kufa, Nishapur. Thousands of miles. Years on the road. Just for knowledge. Sometimes he slept under the sky. Sometimes he had nothing to eat. But he never stopped. Because he wasn't collecting stories, he was protecting Islam. He met more than 1,000 scholars. From each one he carefully listened, verified and wrote. But he was extremely strict. He didn't accept every hadith. He tested narrators. He studied their character. Were they honest? Did they have good memory? Did they ever lie? Did they really meet the person they claimed to narrate from? If there was even the smallest doubt, he rejected the hadith. There is a famous story. He once traveled days to meet a narrator who claimed to know a hadith. When he arrived, he saw the man tricking his horse by pretending to have food in his hand. Imam Bukhari immediately turned back. Someone who lies to an animal cannot be trusted with the words of the Prophet. That was his level of honesty. From nearly 600,000 hadith he collected, he selected only about 7,000 with repetition, around 2,600 without repetition for his book. Think about it. Out of 600,000, only a few thousand passed his test. That's how authentic Sahih Bukhari is. Before writing each hadith he performed wudu. He prayed 2 rak'ah. Then he wrote. For him this was not writing a book. It was an act of worship. Years passed. His hair turned gray. His body grew weak. But his mission stayed strong. Finally the masterpiece was complete. Al-Jami, al-Sahih. What we now call Sahih Bukhari. The most authentic collection of hadith in human history. The book covers everything. Faith, prayer, fasting, charity, hajj, marriage, business, manners, character, justice, leadership, family, even smiling. Every part of life. Because Islam is not only worship. It is a complete way of living. Scholars later said, after the Book of Allah, there is no book more authentic than Sahih Bukhari. Imagine the reward. Every time someone prays correctly because of a hadith he preserved. Every time someone gives charity. Every time someone learns sunnah. Imam Bukhari gets reward. For more than 1,200 years. Non-stop. But greatness always brings test. Some people became jealous. Some rulers felt threatened by his popularity. He was asked to teach only rich people privately. He refused. He said knowledge is for everyone. Rich and poor are equal. Because of this he was expelled from cities. He became lonely, sick, old. The man who gave the world Sahih Bukhari died away from fame and comfort. In a small village. At night. Quietly. But when he was buried, people say a beautiful fragrance came from his grave. As if the earth itself honored him. Today millions of mosques teach his book. Millions of scholars memorize it. Billions of Muslims benefit from it. And it all began with one orphan boy. One mother's dua. One heart that loved the Prophet more than anything. Sahih Bukhari is not just a book. It is a bridge. Between us and the Messenger of Allah. Carries his voice. His guidance. His mercy. And it reminds us that one sincere person can change the entire ummah forever. So when you open Sahih Bukhari, remember, you are not just reading words. You are touching history. You are connecting to the Prophet. And you are witnessing the life's work of a man who sacrificed everything for the truth. This is the story of Imam Bukhari, the guardian of Hadith, the traveler of knowledge, the silent hero of Islam. And his legacy will live until the end of time.